Hello everyone, my name is Arun and welcome to my channel. This series is either tutorials on Makefiles, basic tutorials on Makefile programming. Now in this tutorial we'll be looking at variables and a little bit of comments option that are available in Makefiles. Now Makefiles can be made a little more easier to work with and little more compact to work with little and by making variables and comments. Okay, you have that facility available and they tend to follow the same procedure like that of the shell scripts that people use. Now to start with, to write a comment, what you need is you need to start with the hashtag. You put a hash or a whatever, you just put a hash or a pound sign and then you can write a comment. So you can say is this is the make file. Okay, I'll put this is the make file for creating stats.exe. Okay, now you can put a comment over here. Now I put another comment over here. This line produces the executable. This produces executable. This line produces the stats.o file. This line, what am I typing? Produces the stats funcs module and o file. Okay, and you can say this line is the cleanup line. This line is for cleanup. Okay, so this way you can make comments and they'll just work the same. These comments will be ignored and this completely for the user to get an idea what's happening. And now let's make a few variables to make our life easy. First, let's create a variable called as fc. fc stands for the Fortran compiler. So here I'm using the compiler Fortran. Okay, so I can define this. This is the Fortran compiler. Okay, so I'm creating a variable over here, Fortran compiler. And so wherever Fortran comes, I can remove this. I can just type this dollar within brackets. I can type fc. Fair enough. Similarly, instead of Fortran over here, I can just type fc and fc. I can write this up. Now this way, what happens here is that if I have a lot of files that I wanted to work with and all of them use the same compiler, let's say, or instead of going to each and every line and writing a Fortran or some other Fortran compiler, all you have to do is just write the variable names over here for the first time, and then instead of you just have to specify the Fortran compiler name. So I just specify Fortran over here. Suppose if I were to move to a new system where I have to compile all these files using the Fortran F95 compiler, I just have to type F95 over here and proceed with it. Suppose I move to a system where I have to run this with Intel Fortran, let's say, I just have to write iFort or Intel Fortran over here, and it will be, and the Makefile will work for that. Now how simple is that? Okay, that's in that way you're using one variable. Second of all, let's create another variable. This variable will give the compiler flags. So for that I write fc. I can create my any flag I want. I just type it as -c. Okay, this will give me the compiler flags, and then let's see what else do I need. And since I put fc flags, okay, what I can do is instead of -c over here, instead of minus e over here I can put a dollar and then type fc flags. Okay, and similarly instead of instead of minus e I can put fc flags, and there you go. Now if I make clean this up and then I make it, you see instead of fc flags the equivalent representation gets printed over here, and thereby you're doing exactly the same thing even with replacing the variables. Okay, this way you're almost getting up to the modularity. Okay, and now similarly we can replace this object flag over here and do something more interesting with it. So let's see. For that what you can do is this variable will give the linker flags. So since I'm going to use this only once, what I can do is I can create a variable called as linker, and I can type this as Fortran compiler flag with the -o flag. So instead of this I can replace this entire thing with linker and similar same thing as above. So if I just make clean and I make this up, it's exactly the same thing. Okay, and this way slowly we're modifying everything. Slowly we are making it more modular, we're making it more customizable. And now there might be certain other linker flags. There might be certain other linker flags that we might come across in the future. Now not for this example, but for some other example you might be required to put more optimization flags, some optimization flags or extra flags or something like that. So for that let's create this variable will give the that's a linker flag. Let's see. Okay, we'll give the link flags. Okay, and I can create something called as fc links. Okay, and for now I'll just leave it empty. And over here what I can do is I can just type fc links, and that will do. So in the future if I want to create any add more add more linker flags to it, or linker options to it, I just have to put it over here and automatically it will be placed over here wherever it's required. So let me clean this up, make it again. There you go, simple as that. Now what I do is, just for fun, I'm going to put this G flag over here. Okay, and if I run this, make clean, and then I type make over here, there you go. If you look at it, the G flag did came out over here. How cool is that? Okay, and now this is not the only thing we can do. We can do even quite a little more work with it. And now these variables, they not only can be used for separate to tell the compilers and everything. We can also tell them to create the object files, or store the object file names and something like that. So this file, for instance, this variable stores the object files. So I write objs equals, I copy this and paste it over here. There you go. And instead of this now I can write objs. Instead of this I can write objs, and if I make clean and I make this again, there you go, no errors, the same procedure, it will work. And instead of this exe, I can make it little, I can make this as a program name variable. So I can write prog equals stats.exe. okay, and instead of stats.exe I can use that up over here. So I write prog. Okay, and similarly, instead of stats.exe, what I can do is, instead of this stats.exe, I can write prog over here. So I just copy this. Actually, I can copy this entire thing and paste it over here. Okay, give some spacing, and that's it. So now it might look totally abstract in this line, but trust me, this is very if you look at it little carefully, it's not that complicated as you think like. So instead of linker, we'll have gfortran minus o. Instead of prog, we'll have stats.exe. Instead of object, instead of the stats.o and start.funcs.o, we get this object objs. And instead of fc links, we just have minus g, and that's it. That's it. So now if you look at this, this is completely here, and this line is totally automated. Okay, and now if I make clean and make this again, there you go, exactly the same commands, just replicated to make it a little more formal and customized. Okay, now the downside of this kind of a variable usage is that if you're a beginner, you might be thoroughly confused and messed up by looking at this. But the more you get familiar with make programming, using make files, the more these things will be much easier for you. Okay, and let's see. I think I'll stop this video. I think I'll stop this video now. Okay, and the next tutorial I'll tell you guys how to simplify these statements into a single line and represent all the dependencies separately. Okay, with that video, I guess the simple tutorials on make files will be over. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.